Go.
So we're talking about parody. I'm going to go through some of the sort of old licensing laws and how it would affect music today if they will. And if we can use history to show possibly where it's going in the future. So back in the day, 1600s, we had the Licensing Act, which it was basically everything was controlled by guilds. We had a guild of printers that had control over publishing and censorship of everything. Obviously, this didn't go too well with the public, so they spent a fair amount of time protesting. After a load of protesting, the Licensing Act was abolished, and after about 10 years of the guilds trying to reinstate it, they gave up and ended up constructing the Statute of Anne, which was more for the people than the Statute of Anne was it was designed to push for more creative people because there was nobody had any rights to their whatever. They were less inclined to create, to write. So the Statute of Anne attempted to bring that back. This, I think, is where the parody is significant. It mocks the commercial music at the time with direct reference to but it also is combined with the potential of breaking existing copyright laws. So it was protesting against the laws and the music at the same time, which is pushes for change. At the moment, we're trying to. The next one was the Copyright Act of 1790. Once the sort of novelty of reform from the Statute of Anne wore off, people started looking for ways to exploit it. They could make easy money into it. And around this time, we were sort of over in America. That was a fairly new country. And because of that, it had no laws for copyright, anything like that. So they had free rein to print whatever they wanted, make money out of existing work, everything. This changed eventually when there were some American authors kicking around that needed money from their work. So that created the Copyright Act of 1790. This was sort of echoed slightly, I guess, by the Verve and the Rolling Stones issue. The Rolling Stones were straight on the Verve as soon as they heard it. This is our work. Yet the Rolling Stones stole pretty much everything they did from old blues and soul artists, because the old artists, a lot of them didn't have copyrights for works that are perfectly fine to steal. We then come to the Copyright Act of 1911, which is also known as the Imperial Copyright Act, because it spanned the British Empire and sort of started a global copyright law, which set standard for the world. Then we get to the Copyright Patents and Designs Act, which we are still using today. It's been amended several times, but it focuses more now on computing, because everything has moved towards computers and networks. This is that. It's just a little cartoon. I thought it was pretty fun. It's sort of 1984 parody, I guess, of copyright law.
You sang a song in the shower, you thought of a song. That's 3 strikes, Mr. Smith, to receive your punishment. Proceed to room 1201. some such doesn't change domestic law, and we have always been at war with Oceania, so it's like an interesting piece of satire in itself. Boom. Wait, okay. Stephen. Can't really see me, but yeah. This is us. This is an example of a parody, really. Abbey Road. Personalised a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Internet and copyright. Could we have the next bit, please?
Sure, bro.
Now, I find on my travels looking for something to discuss, I came across this little thing that happened, I think it was 7 years ago. A guy who goes by the name of Eclectech, he's got a website, he puts loads of parody on it. He's basically an amateur satirist, for want of a better term. And there was, when James Blunt's You're Beautiful came out, it was his first album, if I recall. This guy basically made a parody of it on his website. So it had the song playing, but it also had a video of like this weird, like creepy looking version of James Blunt singing it, and it was interactive. You could throw tomatoes at him, and then when the song was finished, you got a score. Like every time you hit his head, you got 100 points. Every time you hit his body, you got 50 points and stuff. So the idea was to get people high scores and stuff. And basically, well, this is a little article from, I think it's the Telegraph, basically explaining that Eclectech was threatened with legal action and had to take it off his website. So they compromised, took the music away, and now it's just a silent thing. We can still throw tomatoes at him, but they've got the lyrics at the bottom, so you can still read them. It also says here that apparently Blunt enjoyed throwing tomatoes at himself as well, which is intriguing.
Naughty boy.
Yeah. May I have the next one? Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. So actually, James Blunt himself said, talking about music and copyright, he says, I think it's there, it's prevalent, and so if something has put its head above the parapet, people will take a shot at it, and that's the industry in which we're in. I totally expect that. I copied that completely, so I'm guessing that's actually what it said. So he didn't even mind. I actually emailed the Eclectech guy himself, and he got back to me, and he said a lot of things, but the two most important ones are music is an art form. As soon as you get caught up in being an industry, there are bound to be problems. Apparently, Blunt didn't have a problem with it, and they didn't even notice the parody online until Channel 4 aired it, apparently. And then once they aired it, Blunt's legal team got involved and started threatening him. It says, a legal threat was a letter from the co-authors of the song, not Blunt himself. I made this public at the time, but it wasn't mentioned in the media. I assume because it didn't make as good a story. Basically, Eclectech says that parody is a form of, it benefits culture, as a cultural benefit, as cultural worth to it. He's also he's keen to sponsor the Open Rights Group and Creative Commons as well, which is discussed earlier. So. Couple of quick quotes as well. Graham Linehan, of Father Ted, etc., said, from simple Photoshop jokes to short films or even feature films, we are living through a revolution in creativity, and parody is an important part of that revolution. And the IPO said, copyrighted works are strands of our cultural fabric, not just products to consume. There are 23,000 Beyonce parody videos, around 4,000 Madonna parodies, and nearly 2,000 Adele parodies on YouTube. Many of these are not professionally produced, but represent the endeavour of citizens responding to the cultural conversations happening around them. So basically, I was having a look at, like, is it right that everything, all forms of satire are basically being funneled into YouTube now, because you can't put something on your own website because you don't have any sort of legal power, whereas on YouTube they've got all these little clauses and you've got the advertisements and they know all these people, so they can put the revenue streams to the right place. So I kind of felt that was a bit harsh. So apparently the laws are changing, and it's going to be a lot less strict specifically with regard to parody in the coming years. So YouTube won't have quite the same monopoly as it does now. I shall pass you over to.
So I looked at parodies on YouTube and how they actually work, and there's no law in the UK actually allowing you to make